Alright everybody, welcome back to yet another video, and I'm going to give a very quick trigger warning at the beginning of this video, because we're going to be going over a video that depicts child abuse. Now, it's not like physical or really even verbal child abuse that we're witnessing, it's more so child abuse insofar as taking something away from a child. I'm trying to stay vague so that I don't spoil the video, but this video clip we're about to watch has gone viral, and it's brought a lot of attention and brought up a lot of discourse about something that I've said for a while. I think that there is a very pervasive and very f***ed up culture in our country based around the idea of glorifying abusing children in the name of discipline. The idea that you are a better parent if you have the balls to bust out the belt and like, hit your child with it. Now, if you're a sane human being, you would be able to recognize that no matter what, hitting a child, unless it's literally to defend yourself, is, you know, literally an evil action that villains in movies do. Sometimes movies aren't even brave enough to depict the villains hitting the child. Yeah, it's pretty villainous, but for some reason, we have this, like, aged fucking, like, millennia-long normalized idea that parents have ownership of their children to the extent that, like, a whole variety of things that are, like, things you can't even do to other people's children are legal if you're doing it to your child. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's really fucked up, and the part of it that bothers me the most is the fact that it's glorified, particularly in certain areas of internet culture where the idea that, like, sometimes it's even victims of it who say you didn't have a proper childhood unless you were, like, abused in the way that they were, right? It's really, really fucked up. I think it's a coping mechanism, but it's quite common. And recently this video went viral, and I think it brings a lot of attention to that issue, and it's caused a lot of people to talk about this, and I think it validates a lot of what I've said about conservative parenting and how a lot of conservative parents, and I'm sure this parent is conservative, don't view their children as humans worthy of respect or, you know, humanity, but as property that they get to mistreat in response to, like, mouthing off or doing something that upsets them. So here's the video that's gone viral. It's captioned, "When you're tired of talking to your teenage daughter," and then, like, a blissful relief emoji.
When you're tired of talking to your teenage daughter.
Okay, it's copyrighted music, but it's Too Late to Apologize is playing. You can see this is, from what I can tell, an Air Force uniform. So this lady's in the Air Force. I'm guessing? Maybe not. I can't tell. That looks like a patch. What does anyone here who knows? Can anyone tell me? I don't want to mislabel. I don't want to disrespect the troops. Mind you, she's, like, happily taking joy as she does this, and she's got, like, the laughing, crying emojis on the screen. For those who don't know what she's doing right now, she's taking the hinges off the door. Not even, like, taking the pins out of the hinges, but, like, unscrewing the hinges off the door, so you literally have to, like, there is not even anything approximating a door to the bedroom anymore. This is basically the idea that children have to earn privacy, and that privacy is a privilege. Child psychologists have, of course, been saying for decades that privacy is literally a fundamental necessity to child development, but parents are very, very egotistical when it comes to their kids oftentimes, and feel a desperate need to be nosy in every aspect of their child's life, despite the fact that experts overwhelmingly agree it is just not good for them. But parents, bad parents I should say, always think they know what's best for their child, better than the experts, better than the doctors, better than psychologists, and they think that their child's well-being should always be taken into their own hands. Straight home from work, didn't even take my uniform off. Like, not only is it that she is, like, this isn't an instance of, you know, you've upset me, and I am, you know, having a moment of, like, an anger temper, like I'm losing my temper and having a moment where I like, get too mad at my kid. This is her joyfully and gleefully taking pride and like laughing her ass off. Like, she thinks it is the most hysterical thing ever that her child is being punished and that her child is going to be unhappy because of this. She's doing a happy dance about punishing her child. What the fuck? Yeah. You know, it's because they literally see their children as like such subhuman property that is so subservient to them. They take joy and make a sing-songy voice into a happy dance at the thought of punishing their child. It excites them. Yeah, the humiliation of this is I enjoy humiliating the life I created. I take pleasure in inflicting suffering on the being that I forced to enter this world. I repeat, if you and your child do not have enough established trust between you two for them to close their door, you have already fucked up. Yeah, if your child can't close their door or lock their door, you've already there's already something up. Like, either you're a bad parent who's too nosy and you're not giving your child enough privacy, or your child has done so much fucked up shit that you can't trust them anymore, reasonably so, and you need to seek like further professional help with your child's psychological needs, because usually it is problem children that need like psychological help that engage in things that like diminish their parents' trust, and rightfully so, to the extent that they can't have a door on their hinges. Like, I feel like this would be understandable if her daughter was a heroin addict and she found out her daughter has been locking herself in her room and shooting up heroin. If this is her literally trying to prevent that, maybe it's not the best way to do it, but it's a little bit no, she's taking joy in doing this, so it can't even be that. This isn't like oh, my daughter's done something that's like harmful to her own well-being, because then she would be doing this as it's like a necessity. It's a unfortunate necessity that she has to do, but she's taking joy in it. That's not what's happening here. She's done something that just annoyed her mom, like backtalked or something. So she's like, oh yeah, you want to backtalk? You won an argument? You know what I bet happened? Her daughter won an argument. How much do you want to bet? Her daughter won an argument. So her mom was like, oh, you think you get to just like win an argument and feel pride about that? I have the power to make your life a living hell. And then recorded a sing-songy TikTok humiliating her child and taking away her privacy. This is despicable behavior. Oh, now she's talking. Okay, we actually got some commentary here.
Children don't realize that the little things are a privilege. Like privacy. Like being able to go like this. Okay?
Oh, I bet she slammed her door. I bet she slammed her door after an argument. How much you want to bet her daughter slammed the door after an argument? And I bet it wasn't even a slam, it was just like a somewhat forceful closing. Yeah, she's playing drill instructor, too. I don't even know if this is like a military uniform. It looks less like it up close, but, you know, it's hard to tell.
That's a privilege in my house, okay? So, little advice for anybody that has a teenage daughter that has a lot of growing pains. Don't take the phone. Take the door.
When do you think she'll realize she's a lesbian? Do you think she knows, or is she gonna find out later in life? No, but I'm not kidding. But is she a lesbian? I think so. I definitely think so. I've been around a lot of LGBT people for the last over half decade of my life, and yeah, you just kind of start to be able to tell. Anyway, that said, basically, this is just an instance of a parent who takes great joy. She's definitely got a lot of suits in her closet. True. This is a woman who takes immense joy in, like, taking her frustration out on her daughter. And when it's her daughter who's frustrated her, she's like, oh, I'll get the last laugh by taking things away from you. I can enforce my will on you because legally you have no recourse to, fight back for like basic rights such as privacy. If you're like an adult and you're forced into a situation where you have to like live in housing with no like door on the hinges and no privacy, people consider that borderline inhumane conditions. But if you're a parent doing it to your child as punishment, well, you're a parent. You own your child. They're your property until they're 18, or they get emancipated. Isn't it crazy how the term for when someone who is underage before they are before they're 18 gains like independence from their parents legally, it's called emancipation? Isn't that an interesting word that they chose? Because when you turn 18 and your parents no longer have power over you, legally, you've been emancipated. You have gained rights. A significant amount of them. Because when you are a child, your rights are few and far between. And conservatives fight to preserve that tooth and nail, in large part because it prolongs their ability to abuse children, particularly sexual abuse. The pedocon theory comes back around, proving itself true time and time again.